Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, today I got a field test for you guys. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of Uberleben's Ferro Rod. I have put the Uberleben Ferro Rod up against just about every major brand of ferro rod on the market, and the Uberleben has come out on top every time. In fact, if you refer back to a video I did last year on ferro rod basics, where I laid out a huge collection of ferro rods that I had accumulated, you'll see just some of the ferro rods that I've tested and that I've put up against the Uberleben. Well, I came across a new brand recently which I had not tested, and that is firesteel.com ferro rod. So I went ahead and purchased a firesteel.com ferro rod. Now, they claim that their ferro rod, right in their ad, is the best ferro rod in the world. They claim it in writing in their ad. So to make things equal, this is my 5" by 1/2" in diameter Uberleben. This is the 5" by 1/2" firesteel.com, each with cord and striker specific to that particular brand. I'm going to put these head to head for you guys, and we'll see if Uberleben is still the best ferro rod out there, or if, as firesteel.com claims, their ferro rod is the best ferro rod in the world. Price point, the Uberleben right now on Amazon for the 5" by 1/2" with striker is $22. The firesteel.com is $29.29 plus shipping and handling. If you have Amazon Prime, free shipping. So that makes over a $10 difference between the two if you'd happen to have Prime. If not, then it's about a $7 difference. So let's see what the firesteel.com does with the striker that it came with. So this is the striker that comes with the firesteel.com 1/2" by 5". I'm going to try to bounce some sparks off this rock here so you guys can get a good idea of what it's doing. Okay, that's the firesteel.com, Firesteel with the striker that it comes with. Here is the Uberleben with the striker that it comes with. Okay, there we go. So you can see right off, using the strikers that these rods come with, the Uberleben puts out far more sparks than the firesteel.com. Well, I've already did a little pre-testing earlier, and I discovered that the striker on the Uberleben is far superior to the striker that comes on the firesteel.com. So for example, if I switch over and I use the firesteel.com striker on my Uberleben, you'll see my sparks are greatly diminished. If I use my Uberleben striker on the firesteel.com, I have far more sparks. So to make this fair, now as they come, if you're going to use the striker that comes with it, there's absolutely no comparison whatsoever. The Uberleben is throwing out 2 to 3 times as many sparks as the firesteel.com. If you're going to use your knife, for example, or a different striker, well, let's put them head to head using the better of the two strikers and see. So I'll use my Uberleben striker on the firesteel.com rod first. Okay, now we'll try it on the Uberleben rod. Oops. There we go. So using the Uberleben striker on both, now I'm actually getting a few more sparks on the firesteel.com striker, or rod I mean. Let's use the back of a knife. I'm a little bit restricted here by this cord being tied to this one and not the other one, so let's go with the back of a knife here. Try it again. This time I'll do the Uberleben first for you guys. 5 good strikes. All right. Firesteel.com. 5 good strikes. So using the back of my knife, I'm getting more sparks off the Uberleben than I am the Firesteel.com. So it's kind of a toss-up so far on that. But again, price point. For a $10 difference, and from what I've seen so far, I'm automatically going to favor the Uberleben. But what I want to do, I want to give a couple more hits. So Uberleben again, using the Uberleben striker. Oops. And use it on the Firesteel.com. Well, now it looks like maybe I'm getting a little more on the Uberleben. But anyway, so the way I've been striking so far for comparison, for test, well, none of those are the ways that I actually use a ferro rod when I'm starting a fire. You guys know my method is to do a bunch of repeated short scrapes right into my tinder bundle. That's my preferred method. That's the Uberleben. Let's try that method on the Firesteel.com. Pretty close. Uberleben again. Yeah, I'm actually getting more on the Uberleben, guys. So using the rod, and you've seen what this rod does, or I mean this striker does, whether I use this striker on the Firesteel.com or whether I use it on the Uberleben, their striker is junk as far as I'm concerned. It throws almost no sparks at all. Switch over to the Uberleben striker. Very close, but after doing it a couple times and then using my preferred method of a lot of real short strikes into the tinder, I would say the Uberleben is just a little bit better than the Firesteel. Using the back of the knife, the Uberleben was throwing clearly more sparks than the Firesteel.com. And for $10 less money and more spikes, I would have to say, sorry guys, Firesteel.com, your ferro rod is not the best ferro rod in the world, and Uberleben is still the best ferro rod to this date I've ever used. Now, I've tested, like I said, just about every major brand on the market. You guys know a brand that I'm not familiar with, throw it out there in the comments. If I have not tested it, sometime in the future, I'll put it head-to-head against the Uberleben. But can't get out of here without at least starting a little tinder bundle for you guys. So I brought out some juniper bark. Just gonna shred it up a little bit. I didn't bring a whole lot. Don't need to have a big fire. It's 95 degrees out here today. But I'm gonna shred this up, because that's one thing, anytime you're using bark, you do want to shred it up and get a whole bunch of little fine hair-like fibers standing up. And using my good old Uberleben, which in my opinion is still best ferro rod in the world. There we go. And that's it, guys. Firesteel.com. It's a good rod. You know, you saw it. Next to the Uberleben, I would say it is the best rod that I have tested. But if you're going to use the striker, and I prefer to use a striker, I really don't like using my knife for a ferro rod. So using their striker, pretty much junk. If you wanted to use their rod, you'd have to go get another striker like the Uberleben. So you might as well get the better rod, the better striker for $10 less money to begin with. Thanks guys once again for tuning in to Ochiko Bushcraft, and I appreciate your support on this channel. Take care out there.